Thank you, Madam Chair. This is probably one of the most important hearings that we're going to have all year. And I want to put this in a little bit of context about why I'm so excited about it and to hear from you. So I graduated law school in 1997. And rather than practicing toxic tort litigation like I thought I was going to, I began working for an incumbent local exchange company implementing the Telecom Act and spent 25 years in that industry, and I saw the transition from the princess phone plugged into the wall to this, to telephones in people's sunglasses, and how rapidly that transition changed as we got farther and farther away from 1997. And at my last legal conference in that job, I heard some statistics, and this was in 2018, I heard some statistics about AI and the ability of AI to create fake news being on pace to outpace its ability to detect it. And we talked about, then we were in the fourth industrial revolution. And we talked about how with each industrial revolution, just as it brought extraordinary advancements, they brought extraordinary challenges. I don't know if we're on the way to the fifth industrial revolution with the transition from 5G to 6G and how fast AI is evolving. But I think we are woefully behind getting ahead of the challenges. Yesterday, I was speaking to a group, and they asked me specifically about AI, what is Congress not talking about that it should? And what are industry leaders not talking about that they should? And lo and behold, there was an article in Axios on May 28th called AI Jobs Danger, Sleepwalking into a White-Collar Bloodbath, where Dario Amodi said that AI could wipe out half of all entry-level white-collar jobs and spike unemployment to 10 to 20% in the next 1 to 5 years. Madam Chair, I would ask unanimous consent to introduce this article into the record so I can get straight to my questions about it.
Without objection.
I'm actually shocked we haven't heard any questions yet about workforce. But for all of the witnesses, how can industry and Congress work together to manage this workforce transition that is coming? It came in every industrial revolution, but the difference is here it's going to happen so fast that I don't know if we're going to have time to retrain workers. I don't know if there'll be jobs to retrain them to, and I don't know if we can adjust school curriculum fast enough to teach today's students what they need when they graduate to succeed in this new world. So what should we be thinking about to address that issue?
One recommendation that I would have is in the BEAD program, there's both deployment and non-deployment. Louisiana, which a Republican state on the forefront, they're using about 60% of their funding to deploy and connect every Louisianian, and about 40% in workforce training. So if you think about AI, basically what are AI networks that will take the AI applications and content over the broadband networks that we're building and the infrastructure that we're building, but you have to complement it with the workforce. So Mignon Clyburn and I work together with Encompass and the AI Competition Center, and one of our key pillars is AI workforce. And everybody at this table, NVIDIA is extremely engaged in AI workforce training, Microsoft, Google, Amazon. The companies that are building the AI models realize that if we don't start from K through 12, community college and university and adult retraining and workforce, that this huge transformation and the benefits could be jeopardized for the good that it could do. But we need to train now and use some of the BEAD money in flexibility for both deployment and training.
Maybe I'll just quickly follow on from that. AI gives tremendous opportunity for distribution and of training. The ability to provide individual students one-on-one tutoring rather than sitting in a classroom and listening to one teacher train at the same pace, for instance. But that also requires communications network as well. And the ability to provide that connectivity to every person where they need it and every student when they need it, I think enables us to train quickly. As mentioned before by Mr. Pickering, and NVIDIA is very much engaged with many ISVs, meaning independent software vendors, that are developing those types of applications such that they can be delivered over the network. And then, of course, as I said earlier, the ability to provide a very competitive US telecommunications infrastructure provider will also bring many jobs here to the US.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I hope the other two will send me their responses for the record, and I yield back.